Last week I was at Disneyland and I saw a person wearing a shirt that said, "I have measles." Hey, guess what? This is my theme song. Don't worry, you can trust this video. I'm not going to try to pull a prank on you. Instead, it's story time. I'm going to tell you about a prank that was pulled on me. I call it the prank prank. I used to work for Knott's Berry Farm. I was in the entertainment technical department, meaning all the live shows that they have throughout the park, I ran. I spent the first 6 months of my time with that company in the Charles Schulz Theater, wherein during the summer and Christmas times, they cover the stage with ice and they have an ice show. Now, if you've never been to Knott's Berry Farm or you've never been in the Charles Schulz Theater, imagine just like a playhouse, like a movie theater. It's a big, all-enclosed with a balcony and a mezzanine, big theater. It's their big theater, right? So I spent the first 6 months of my time with that company running the front of house for the ice show. Now, when I first started, the rest of the crew kept talking about hazing the new guy and telling me stories about ways that they've hazed previous new guys and previous hazings and all these pranks that they pulled on people. And what they do is they haze the new guy on their birthday. And so I thought that I was cool by just not telling anyone when my birthday was. That way I could get away without being hazed. That plan didn't really work out so well. There's a little thing called the internet. There's a little thing called social media. I happen to also be on another little website called IMDb, and so Internet Movie Database, because of things, and so people were able to discover my birthday. But I managed to go like an entire month of being on the crew for this theater without them knowing, or without at least me knowing that they knew when my birthday was, so without me knowing that I was going to be hazed. During that time, I became really good friends with one of the other crew on that theater. We're going to call him Ted. Now, don't get me wrong, Ted was a cool guy, and he and I ended up being good friends through the entire time that I was with that company. However, Ted got me to trust him, and that was my mistake. About 2 weeks prior to my birthday, I came to find out that they knew when my birthday was. They looked me up, they did a little searching, and they found out that my birthday was in 2 weeks. My good friend Ted we'd hang out for lunch, and he would tell me, "They're thinking about doing this, they're thinking about doing that, they're thinking about doing..." The day before my birthday, he finally told me, "Look, you should know this is what's gonna happen. Tomorrow, we have 4 shows. At the end of the last show, the entire crew is gonna come into your sound booth, grab you, take you from the sound booth onto the stage, wrap you up in duct tape so you can't get out of your chair, connect your chair to a rope that is hanging from the rafters, and with sandbags on the other end of this pulley system, they're gonna pull you up and hang you from the stage." And I realize that this sounds a little far-fetched. I realize that it sounds a little much, but hearing some of the things that they did to haze other people in the past, I was actually kind of starting to believe this a little bit. On the day came and we're at the last show, I kept getting texts from Ted telling me, "Be ready, here they come. As soon as the curtain closes, here they come, they're gonna come get you." And I was actually like, and then finally the curtain closes, he texted me, "They're on their way now." I'm thinking I've got less than minutes. I set the automation on the board so that after about 10 minutes it would fade out on its own, and I left. I, as quickly as I could, left the sound booth, made my way through the audience, exited the back on the other side of the theater because the crew was over there and I exited, and I ran, baby. I ran to the other side of the park. I was in Camp Snoopy, which is literally the other side of the park, and I was there, man. After about 20 minutes, I slowly crept my way back into the theater because I had to shut things down too, and I wanted to go home, and I couldn't leave until everything was shut down. So I crept my way back into the theater. I crept my way back into the sound booth, and I'm like peeking behind doors and walking silently and like opening the door and peeking my way through before I went through and things like that. And I get back into the theater, and the stage manager is just sitting in his stage office, and he's got a view down the hall of the stage, and he sees me creep up onto the stage, and I can see him clearly because, the lights and everything, and I can see him sitting on his stage, and he's just sitting back in his chair like this, and he just starts laughing, and I'm like, "Wait, what do you mean? Why What is happening? Why are you laughing? I was then informed they were never going to get me. They made me think that they were going to get me. They made me think that they were going to hang me from the rafters over the stage, but never intended to. It was all a psychological mind thing. They pranked me. They got me good. Anyway, so I'm legitimately interested. Leave me a comment telling me a good prank story that either happened to you or that you pulled on somebody else. Because these are like cool things. And I don't know about you, but I feel better about sharing stories of pranks than actually being pranked. So, happy April Fool's Day. Let's share some stories. Thank you for watching the Easily Amused Group, the show that has a one-track mind, but the train is derailed.